listen, when Chloe was born 15 years ago, I was like, I want her to be a confident, athletic, decisive, sure woman. For that to happen, I have to be the role model of what a man looks like. Andrew, my son, has to be a role model of what a man looks like. So since Andrew was always, he's 2 years older than her, as soon as Chloe started to toddle and we would walk towards the car, I would tell Andrew, hey, Andrew, open your sister's door. So I would open Diana's door for Diana to get into the car. Andrew would open Chloe's door for her to climb into the car. And as Chloe got older, I think she was probably 6, maybe 7 years old, we started going on daddy-daughter dates. And we would do that a couple times a month. And I would say, hey, Chloe, where do you want to go? 90% of the time, it was bowling, Chick-fil-A, Yogurtland.
That's it.
And I remember her asking one time while we're in the car, she goes, when you and mom go on a date, what do you guys do in the car? I go, we hold hands. And she reached across and held my hand. And in that moment, I was like, hey, Chloe, just so you know, when you're older and you have a friend who's a boy, if he doesn't open the door for you like me and brother do, if he wants to do anything more than just hold your hand in the car and he makes you feel uncomfortable, you tell him to stop the car and you get out and you call dad and brother and we're going to come get you, okay? And so I instilled that in her early on. Like, again, this is your expectation of what a man is. Like, and today, like she's 15, she likes athletic guys. She likes guys who are confident. She likes guys who are decisive. She literally stopped. She's only had 2 boyfriends. Her first little boyfriend, who didn't work out so well for him, she stopped at the door of his mom's car when his mom came to pick them up. And he came out, rung the doorbell. They walked out to his mom's car together. And he went in the other side, like the driver's side, in the back seat. And then Chloe's just standing there. And so he's like, hey, are you okay? She's like, yeah, can you come open my door? And he came around and he opened the door. And she started to encourage him, like, hey, man, I really like you, but like as a boy, as a man, you've got to open my door. These are the things you got to do. These are the expectations I have. And he would do it here and there and forget about it. And soon she was just like, hey, guess what? We're done. She just lost interest in him. And even today, we continue to do our daddy-daughter dates, but now they're at nice high-end sushi restaurants, and the check has gotten much bigger than just bowling and Yogurtland and Chick-fil-A. But the conversations are even better because she just tells me, like, this is what's happening with the girls on TikTok my age. This is what's happening with the girls who are dealing with anxiety and depression. She taught me a phrase. She goes, I have friends who just trauma dump. And I go, baby, what's trauma dump? She goes, like, it's when they begin to just like dump all their trauma on you because they take so much pride in all their disaster of their life. And she goes, I can't understand why they're excited about having all this trauma. They're excited about being on these pills that control their mood, why they treat themselves like a piece of meat on, like, she's got a couple friends who on TikTok, like, wear low cleavage shit and kind of position the camera where you could see their little child titties. And like, Chloe just won't do that.
Right.
Like, she just won't do that. And it's because the expectations that I've set for her from day one. And so what this man needs to do is understand that she is constantly observing, watching, listening, feeling. And if he can role model the type of man that he wants her to be with, and he could also talk to her about it and take her on dates and show her that she's valued, put her in sports. Chloe's always been in sports. Till this day, she plays volleyball and for club and for high school. Then all of a sudden, you've got this like confident woman who is not afraid to say no, who is not willing to compromise on her integrity and character, who is not going to, go out with a group of guys and, hey, I have guy friends. No fucking girl should have guy friends. Any girl that has guy friends, like, all those guy friends are like a dick in a jar. I think it was Chris Rock that said, like, in case of emergency, break glass. You know what I mean? Like if a girl has a whole bunch of guy friends, is because she likes the validation and approval, the sexual validation and approval they're giving her.
Right.
My daughter has girlfriends because she gets her own validation and approval by being in shape, having her core values, being a badass on the volleyball court. And so she doesn't need some guys sexually puffing her up. You know what I mean? Like, she has her friends, they're girls, and they do their girl shit, whatever that is, man. And so that's what this guy needs to do. Like, he doesn't need to worry about social media controlling the narrative of how she becomes if he takes full control of the influence that he has over her.